Dutch defense. It starts out with d4, f5, c4, knight f6, and g3, g6. After that, bishop g2 and bishop g7. Then knight to c3 and castles. This is the Leningrad Dutch. d4, f5, g3, knight f6, bishop to g2, e6, knight to f3, d5, and c4 is called the Stonewall Dutch, where you make this structure. And this is the Staunton Gambit. And now you know. Is 60-second chess openings, episode 12, the Vienna game. e4, e5, and then knight c3. After this, if black plays the move knight to f6, which looks pretty good, you can play f4, the Vienna Gambit. The point is, if they take, then e5, and then they have no other choice but to go back. And like, it's plus 1.7. If black plays knight c6, then you can still go f4 here, and then boom, which leads to some wild games with like queen h4 check and king e2. Even though it's minus 1.1 for black can easily mess this up. Of course, here you can also play just bishop c4 developing normally, and then knight takes e4 takes here. You walk into a pin, but I mean boom, 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 you're good. Episode 13 of 60-second chess openings. This time the French defense. It goes e4, e6, d4, d5. White has multiple responses here, like the most common, which is the main line. Black can take, and then this would happen. And then something like bishop to d7 would be best. And you get into a pretty open position. You can also play knight f6, keeping the tension on this pawn here. And after this, boom, 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 and then boom would happen. The most common and best move here is bishop to b4, pinning the knight. And if white plays the second most common, which is the advanced variation, black really should play pawn to c5. And then if white takes, boom, black is just really good here. After this, something like knight f3 and knight c6 might, and that is the French defense. Welcome to episode 14 of 60-second chess openings, the Larson's opening. It begins with b3. Black has three main responses here: the modern variation, the classical variation, and the Indian variation. Pretty much no matter what move black plays here, you're gonna want to play bishop to b2. If black plays the modern variation, what you will want to do is bishop to b2, knight c6, e3, knight f6, bishop to b5, and then bishop to d6. And after this, it's pretty much equal. If black plays the classical variation, you're still going to go bishop to b2. They go c5, you again go e3, and then now they go knight to c6. Openings, episode 15, the ready opening. It starts out with knight to f3. Now, in 90% of games here, black will respond with d5. Now, here you can play d4, and then black will probably respond with something like knight to f6, and you get into a pretty symmetrical position. But you can also go for the ready gambit, which is c4. The point is, if they take, now you go e3, and it's really hard to stop the attack on your pawn. The computer is suggesting knight f6 here, just giving up the pawn, and now you're point 6. If black plays d4, which is a more common move, then you can play e3, and now their best move is c5, and then e takes d4, c takes d4.